Okay, good morning, everyone. It's so nice to be with you all this morning. I'm Denise Sirachi, Mayor for the City of Lancaster, and it's a pleasure to welcome you all here. I want to also welcome, I'm going to introduce this guy in a minute, but I want to also welcome our state representative, Izzy Smith-Waddell, as well as our senator-elect from the 96th Senate District, James Malone, who is a face that we will be seeing more of around Lancaster County. I'm pleased to welcome Governor Shapiro to Lancaster City's Main Street, known around here as Queen Street, where local businesses reign. I had to get that in there. We know that in every community, whatever the street name is, that Main Street matters. These are the core of our local economies, attracting residents, businesses and visitors, and we know in Lancaster that we are very well known for our local shops, and that means that you are having an experience that is being curated by people, entrepreneurs, that you're not going to have that experience anywhere else. So when Main Street does well, there is a pretty good chance that our whole community does well. So I'm very grateful to Governor Shapiro and his administration for continuing to invest in main streets across Pennsylvania and highlighting their importance. And so with no further ado, Governor.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks, Mayor. It's always awesome to be in Lancaster. It's especially great to be here with your mayor, who I must say has done an extraordinary job as mayor of Lancaster. She has helped move this city forward. She's helped put it on a path to success and vitality going forward for many, many, many years to come. I think her tenure will be marked not just by the work she did during her years in office, but what she set in motion for many years to come. So we're just really indebted to you for your leadership. We appreciate you very, very much, Mayor. And I want to say this is one of the coolest stores in all of Pennsylvania. So Wes, thanks for having me back to Foxduck. I've been in here to purchase a whole bunch of stuff just quietly as a citizen, and I'm glad to be here today as your governor to highlight important small businesses that line our main streets, Queen Street, and really do just so many important things for the economy, for local individuals, for tourists. It's really a special place. I want to say thank you, Wes, for having us here today, and I definitely got to get a new lid while I'm here, so we'll do that in a few moments. We got some business to do first. I had the chance to visit with Laura over at Bellaboo. Laura and I are blessed with Lori, not Laura, Lori, my wife, our first lady, are blessed with 4 children. And it kind of made me think about wanting to have a fifth. I got to tell you, it was really awesome stuff over there. And Laura and I had a really good conversation about her dedication to Main Street, about the customers that come in and out of her very, very cool shop, but also some of the serious challenges that she's facing with tariffs and some of the other challenges in our economy today. Then I had the chance to go over to Rick's. Have you all ever had those cheese crackers? Those are amazing. So I left with some cheese crackers and cinnamon bread. I'll be making French toast for my kids in the morning, and that's a really wonderful place. And I saw 2 tourists from Durham, North Carolina on my way out of Rick's who were stopping at Rick's because they had to go home with a bunch of cinnamon bread, and they were worried that I got the last loaf. So hopefully there's more for them. I want to say that so many of these storefronts, so many of these stores, so much of this community has been strengthened by the service of Marshall Snively and the Lancaster City Alliance. I really want to thank Marshall. You'll hear from him in a moment, but his dedication to downtown Lancaster, to our main streets, has been really extraordinary, not just for Lancaster, but has been a model for others across our Commonwealth. And then, of course, Representative Izzy Smith-Waddell, who is a partner to me in everything we do, from how we educate our kids, to making sure we've got safe communities, to economic opportunity on main streets like this. Izzy does a great job for you as your state representative, and I look forward to many, many more successes working together with him, and of course now welcoming a new member of Team GSD, Team Get Stuff Done, and that is your Senator-elect James Malone. We had the opportunity to spend a few minutes together at the PIAA basketball championships the other night. He's a guy who cares deeply about the broader Lancaster County and this community and knows the importance of a Main Street. And that's really what I wanted to focus on today, the importance of a Main Street. I feel privileged to be the 48th governor of the Commonwealth and travel all across Pennsylvania. And the terrain looks really different, right? The Main Street here in Lancaster looks very different than the Main Street in a more rural part of our state. It looks different than the downtown or the Main Street in the city of Philadelphia or the city of Pittsburgh. But what's so unique and wonderful about our state is no matter how different the terrain looks, every community's got a Main Street. And I believe the Main Street is the beating heart of the broader county or the broader region. The health and success and vitality of a Main Street tells you a whole lot about how that county, how that region is functioning, what their economy looks like, the level of safety in that community. Main Streets matter and they are critical. It's one of the reasons why when I got elected as your governor, we made a real commitment to Main Streets. And working together with Izzy, we were able to pass for the first time ever a massive fund of $20 million for a new initiative that I call Main Street Matters. The idea behind this is to have enough resources to be able to invest in the needs of a Main Street. The needs defined not by a state actor, but rather by your local state representative on the ground, or folks like Marshall all across Pennsylvania who have dedicated themselves to the community. What I mean by that is we want to hear from those who are leading locally on the ground and invest in the work that they are doing. And Main Street Matters allows us to do that, allows us to build on the progress that was already being made here on Queen Street and across Main Streets across this Commonwealth. And so on Monday, I announced the results of that new initiative, that with that $20 million, we're funding 81 different projects all across Pennsylvania, including 5 right here in Lancaster. $1.2 million is coming to Lancaster County, including $300,000 specifically earmarked for this downtown district to help make sure that we're repairing and improving facades and signs and windows. And that big lighting project, and I'm sure Marshall will talk more about, that I think is going to make this community even more welcoming, even more exciting for people to visit. We have got to continue to invest in Main Streets, and it is a heck of an ROI, a heck of a return on investment. For every $1 we invest in Main Streets, we have an $8 return. So that $20 million, we invest in that with an $8 return. Rep, how much money is that? That's a lot of money, right?
It's 160
$160 million. That's why he's your state representative right there. No, but in all seriousness, we know that it is a smart investment, it's a wise investment, and we get a heck of an ROI on that. And as a result of it, places like Bellevue and Fox Duck and Rick's and others, they get more foot traffic, more people coming in to buy their goods, to buy a hat, buy that cinnamon loaf, buy the baby carrier, and that is really, really important. But what we learned from this process is we need more money for our downtowns. Because even though we awarded 81 different applicants, there were 200 quality applications. So we need more money. So in this budget, I'm doubling down with another $20 million for our Main Streets. And I hope that the representative and the senator are able to impress upon their colleagues to again fund our Main Streets, because Main Streets matter. Here's the last thing I want to say before turning it over to Marshall. We're going to keep investing in our Main Streets. We're going to keep cutting taxes for small businesses like this one, which I've been proud to lead the way on to cut our business taxes here in Pennsylvania. But I know our small businesses are facing strong headwinds right now because of the decisions made by the federal government to impose these tariffs on our trading partners, and just bottom line, make things cost a whole lot more for our business owners. I talked before with Laura about some of her excellent goods that are being brought in from other countries, things that people here in Lancaster and visitors want to buy, and those prices are now looking to have to go up 20%. It's not fair to ask our small business owners to eat that cost, and unfortunately it's going to have to be passed on to consumers. And the only reason this is happening is because President Trump pushed a button, started a trade war, and spiked the prices of goods in our country based on his desire to fight with our allies across the world. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. By the way, given what's going on in D.C. nowadays, I think the world would have been way better off if on September 27th, 1777, I think it was, folks decided to stay here for more than one day and make this the nation's capital. We would have had a whole lot more common sense and sensibility in our federal government if it stayed right here in Lancaster. Listen, we've got to do everything we can to keep driving down the costs of goods and services for people who live in Pennsylvania. It's why we've cut taxes. It's why we're investing in our small businesses. It's why we're investing in our main streets. We want to make it easier for folks here in the community. I wish the federal government wasn't working against us and making it harder for small business owners with these tariffs. I hope our senators and I hope your local congressmen stand up to the president on this, because I think it's a wrong-headed policy that's only going to hurt our small businesses and our farmers right here in Lancaster County. So listen, we're going to continue this important work. We're going to continue to invest in our main streets. Main streets matter, and I want to congratulate Lancaster on putting forth some great applications that are now going to be funded in our inaugural round of Main Street Matters investments. So thank you for all that you've done, and I specifically want to thank Marshall for the work he's done to organize efforts here in downtown Lancaster. And with that, I'll invite Marshall Snively to share a few words. Thank you all very much.
Governor, thank you so much. And Wes, thank you for hosting us here. Wes is a great asset to this community. He serves on the Downtown Investment District Board, and like many of you here, really contributes to what makes Lancaster so strong, especially for our merchants and our small businesses. So my name is Marshall Snively. I'm president of Lancaster City Alliance. For those of you who don't know, we are a nonprofit focused on community and economic development for the city of Lancaster. We also manage the Downtown Investment District. And before I start, this isn't something that we do alone. And Governor, I thank you for the kudos and all the hard work, but this really is a partnership. And I have a great team that are here with us today. We have other partners like SACA, who also were awarded, I think, some Main Street Matters funding, and again, our merchant and business community. So thank you for this opportunity, and I'm thrilled to take part in this. I'm so excited about this. Speaking of which, so it's with great excitement and appreciation that Lancaster City Alliance and our Downtown Investment District has received a total of $300,000 in the latest round of Main Street Matters funding. So what are we going to do with this money? $100,000 is going towards our facade improvement program. And that is to support improving our storefronts, buildings, and pedestrian experience, and to ensure that our commercial corridors, not only downtown, but throughout the city and businesses, remain so special and is an environment that welcomes the community and visitors alike. We've also been awarded $200,000 to support our Light Up Lancaster program. This is an effort to highlight the beautiful architecture that we have downtown. I mean, just look out that window. And not only our architecture, but enhance the pedestrian experience. And this is in conjunction also with the city, who are doing some great things working on the pedestrian level environment. And we're working with the merchants also to improve storefronts and to really shine light not only in our awesome businesses that are here, but also out on the sidewalk, so that it's a more welcoming environment for our folks. This was 2 years in the making. And we couldn't have done this without the help of the business owners, the philanthropic partners that are also contributing to this, and this funding from the state is really key in really allowing us to move this forward. These dollars are critical because while these programs are successful, there's still a great need to continue and reach more areas of the city. We stand in downtown this morning, but we know the need is far-reaching. Our facade program alone, we have interest from over 80 additional small businesses and property owners representing over $500,000 in projects, many on commercial corridors that support our neighborhoods throughout the city. Our small business and merchant community is the lifeblood of Lancaster and a major reason as to why this city is so special. This city has over 300 places to eat, shop, and enjoy. And that rivals most shopping malls. I love that. I love that. Okay.
And you got those cheese crackers.
And we have those cheese crackers. And it continues to grow as the vibrancy of downtown is expanding in all directions. In fact, we've had 16 ribbon cuttings in the city in January, since January this alone. That is over about 1 to 2 new businesses opening each week in this city. And with that said, we also know that it's not easy, especially these days. And to those who have set up shop here in Lancaster, we truly appreciate your investment in our community. And we are grateful for Governor Shapiro and his commitment to and support of small businesses. Main streets do matter, and their preservation is key to the continued growth of Pennsylvania cities like Lancaster, and we thank you. And with that said, it is my pleasure to turn it over to one of our greatest downtown retailers who's celebrating 20 years next year, Laura Hages, owner of the best children's boutique anywhere, and if you haven't been there, get there after this, Bellaboo. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and Laura, I will turn it over to you.
Thanks,
First of all, a big thank you to Governor Shapiro and his team for taking the time to come to Lancaster and recognize our small business community. We all take immense pride in being a part of this evolving and exciting city. I have wonderful childhood memories of shopping in downtown Lancaster with my family at flagship stores like Watt & Shan and Schaub Shoes. We visited Market every weekend and attended many events at the Fulton. It's main streets in small communities that serve as a gathering place, whether it's a coffee shop meetup, a farmer's market, or a community event. Main streets offer common ground where people connect and feel a sense of belonging. They are where the soul of a town lives and everyday moments that shape the community identity, and I wanted to be a part of that. So in 2006, after the birth of our third child, I recognized that Lancaster needed a children's boutique. I created Bellaboo as a place where parents could find stylish and high-quality clothing, as well as carefully crafted toys for children. It did not take long to build a loyal customer base, and Bellaboo flourished. So much so that after 1 year opening, I quadrupled our square footage and moved a few doors down. Fortunately, I have an amazing and dedicated staff that have helped me grow. Their efforts allowed us to launch our website in 2012, and in 2016, we opened a second location at Women's and Babies Hospital. I never imagined that my crazy idea would have led to almost 20 years of involvement in this wonderful city. And the support that all of our downtown businesses, large and small, receive from both local shoppers and out-of-town visitors is a testament to this strong community, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it. With that, I'd like to turn things over to Representative of the 49th District, Representative Smith-Wade-Hall.
Awesome job, Laura. Thank you.
Actually, can we have another round of applause for Laura? I'm not sure you quite heard everything that she said, having kept a business alive through the Great Recession and COVID while raising 3 daughters. That deserves another round of applause. Which is exactly the kind of business and entrepreneur that we have here in Lancaster in spades. As was said, State Rep Izzy Smith-Waddell, I have the privilege of representing the 49th District and the opportunity to thank the governor and his staff for recognizing over and over how special what we have here in Lancaster is, not just downtown and not just with the facade investments on Howard, but as you well know, Governor, this is a city of neighborhoods, and the neighborhood that I live in, Lancaster Southeast, has often felt disenfranchised, but you've never shied away from coming to our community and investing in our neighbors and small businesses, and so we are grateful. Thank you. What the facade improvements mean, I will say to me, is this. Both for storefronts, for homes, people in Lancaster are deeply proud. In every neighborhood, we want to put our best foot forward. We want to take care of and welcome our neighbors. And the investments in facade improvements let us put our best foot or best porch forward. They allow us to spur the kind of entrepreneurship that doesn't just create places like Foxduck and Bellaboo and South County, but also El Jibarito and Mr. Vic's Family Styling, my barbershop, which I need to visit, which the governor has come to twice. Yeah. There is a difference between the kind of leadership that just talks, that makes decisions like they are the push of a button, and the kind that comes to a community and says first, what do you need? What would make your life easier? How would we help you make your home better? That's the work that the governor has done. It's work that I am proud to be a part of, and proud to be part of a movement in the General Assembly, now soon to be joined, May 5th? May 5th, come up here a little bit. We're starting a really big dudes caucus in the General Assembly. Yeah, exactly. But soon to be joined by Senator-elect James Malone. In just a few years, we have lowered taxes for Pennsylvanians, made our streets safer across the Commonwealth, and here in Lancaster, invested in community programs, all while giving more money back to seniors and investing more in local communities than Pennsylvania ever has. I'll tell you what, that's pretty good work for 2 years, and I look forward to the next 2 years to come. And now it's my honor to welcome Governor Shapiro back to the podium so he can take all the questions that you have, because I don't want to answer them. Go for it.
Thanks, Sis. Thanks, guys. We got time for a few questions, then we got to do some shopping here at Foxduck. So, any questions from the media? Yep.
Hey, Governor, according to the Pennsylvania Downtown Center, before Main Street Matters, these types of programs saw their funding decrease over the period of about a decade. Were you aware of that, and do you know why that occurred?
We saw funding going down, which is why we wanted to make a commitment at the state level to increase funding for our main streets, because our main streets matter. We know that for every dollar we invest in our main streets, we get an $8 return on investment. We also know that when communities like Lancaster have their act together with public-private partnerships and nonprofit leadership, that's a smart thing to invest in, because it means everybody's rowing in the same direction. They've got a plan, they're executing, and we want to come in and be supportive of that. So we saw that folks were divesting, from our main streets, and we want to do the opposite. And we were able to pass a bipartisan budget to make this historic investment in main streets, and I'm trying to double down on that and come back for more in the future. Okay?
Governor,
Yeah.
Commissioner Hardwick was charged with his DUI. People are actively calling for his resignation. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, look, that's a matter that's going to be handled locally in Dauphin County. I've got all the faith that they'll handle it properly there, both from a kind of an HR perspective, if you will, and I've confidence in the Attorney General that, he'll conduct a thorough investigation and do what's necessary there as well. It's not for me to opine on. I'm sure they'll handle it appropriately. Obviously, that behavior is very troublesome, but they're going to handle it locally in their community.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Governor,
Okay.
every event
That's
every
okay.
event that we've been to, or I've been, that you've been at, talk a little Penn State.
Yeah.
Penn State hockey tomorrow.
Big, that Frozen Four. I'll tell you what, first off, I think they're going to win. They got a hell of a squad, and Penn State has been hot on everything. I mean, they had a great run with their football team. Wrestling won again for the 12th time. Women's volleyball was on fire this year. I think Penn State is not only an extraordinary academic institution, they got hell of a great and diverse set of sports teams. They got men's sports, women's sports, all doing great, and I'm a proud fan of Penn State and what Pat Kraft and his team are building there.
Does that help Pennsylvania with just how, don't we make all that sports?
Yeah.
How good those teams are doing? Does that?
Yeah, without question. Look, I think communities feel good when their sports teams are playing well. I think you saw that in Philly with the Birds winning the Super Bowl. People feel good when the schools or the teams that they care about do well. I actually think in these kind of divided, polarized times, I don't mean to get political, but I think we can all agree, no matter what our views are on politics, that times are a little too divided, a little too separated sometimes in our communities, that there are still a few things that allow people to come back together. And have conversations and understand one another and enjoy one another's company, even if they have different views on politics. I think downtowns and main streets and walkable communities and trails are one example of that. I think art, music, and culture is another, and I think sports is a big one as well. You go sit in the stands at a Penn State game, you got a whole lot of different opinions on a whole lot of different issues, but everybody is unified in supporting Penn State against whoever the heck they're beating that day in whatever sport. The point I'm trying to make is sports actually brings us together. It allows us to understand one another better. It allows us to see one another for the people we are as opposed to just the political views one might have. And I think that that's really healthy in a community. I think that's good for the psyche of a community. So the better Penn State does, the better Pitt does, Temple, you name it, the better it is for all of us. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you.